When I was a little girl in the 1950s, I would accompany my grandmother to a big brick hospital on the edge of town to visit her sick brother, Albert, every month. We would ride the bus. I never got to go inside to see him with her. I would sit under a tree outside on the hospital grounds and read a book or color in a coloring book. I know, it sounds weird, but back then nobody worried about kids like they do now. Being young, I never thought anything of why he was there really. I just assumed he had some chronic illness. Years later, I found out the hospital was an asylum for the insane. Albert had killed his brother-in-law after coming home from World War I with what today would be called a severe case of PTSD. I learned that he had been sickened with mustard gas while fighting in France and had lost his mind with what they called shell shock back then. So they sent him home. He was only about 20 when it happened, and his story is so sad. The murder took place thusly. Albert's and my grandmother's sister, Molly, was married to an abusive man who used to beat her and their son regularly. When Albert came home from the war, he told this man that if he ever heard of him touching them again, he would kill him. Of course, the guy did it again. So, one day Albert waited in the woods by a country road, and when the man rode by in a buggy, Albert stepped out of the woods and shot him in the face. The guy died, and Albert was declared insane at his murder trial. He spent the next 40+ years locked up in the asylum. I don't think my grandmother missed many monthly visits over that time. She told me he'd always been a gentle, sweet soul growing up, and she had loved him more than anyone in the world other than their mother.